Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to the TGM Weekly Market video. Today we're at our Arcola, Illinois facility here to highlight the major rebuild that TGM spent on this place over the course of the last couple of years. The Arcola facility joined TGM not quite a decade ago, but been rolled in nicely with their access here to the CN or old IC railroad and our presence on that rail line. Along with that strategic nature of feeding some processors and chicken farms and export markets. So with that, I'm joined here by Jack Corum. He's our location manager. We want to talk a little bit about what happened. We had the bin failure in February of 24, so kind of what happened there and the rebuild process and what came out of it for all you producers out there.
Yeah, the bin failure back in 24, I'm sure most of you saw it, either video or drove by and saw what happened. Obviously, it was a catastrophe, might be the easy way to describe it. But since then, we've rebuilt. We've added about 300,000 bushel storage. Along with the bin that went down, we also took out several smaller, older units and added, like I said, more capacity with the newer bins that we put in. Right now, with all the new stuff we put in, we can run about 20,000 bushels an hour on our legs and dump pit. We went through last harvest that way and really handled it really well. Didn't have any lines to speak of as we were going. As he said, we're a rail loader here, so we load 25 and 50 car units that go out and to the markets that Terry talked about. So that's where we're at now here in Arcola.
Yeah, so we had the bin failure. The decision was, right, do you take the insurance money and say this is a facility that's landlocked, it can load rail but not the big trains? Do you take the money and run, or do you rebuild and invest in the local community and infrastructure? And that's the route that TGM and FS chose to go, is spend the money, make the investment here. It's been a successful elevator over the course of the last several decades, and so we look to continue that in the future. So with that, we want to ask for your business and continued support here at Arcola. But a little bit about what Jack's talking about. How many dump pits do we have here now that we can utilize?
We've got 3 pits here, 4 legs, so we can keep trucks moving pretty good when we're getting harvest now.
And part of the rebuild, behind us here is the new complex or the west side of the highway, and so that's where a lot of the grain goes through. And in the past, there's a pro shack over there and an inbound scale. In the past, that same scale was also used as an outbound, and so it was just one big circle that you producers all used to come in and out of here. Now we've actually added an outbound scale there directly after that pit, so it has sped things up. It helped with some of the logistics as far as getting in and out of the facility. So again, not only rebuilding it, but rebuilding it better. So we cleaned up some old space, added some space, helped with the flowability throughout the facility. Again, all to serve you guys for decades to come here. So with that, that's really the highlight of the facility. How many bushels of permanent space did you say we
a little over 3 million, about 3.1 million.
3 pits, 3 million, 4 scales. We are looking to implement some RFID technology here on our scales in the upcoming months. So by this upcoming fall, we'll have that all figured out, as far as it doesn't matter where you weigh in or weigh out at. The cards will work wherever. And so we're going to have that process streamlined and really help with the flowability and the process of getting through here. So again, thanks for your continued support here at Arcola, and we look to continue to earn your business over the next several years. If you are in the market for a job, Arcola does have a nice, we're looking for somebody to really be the superintendent or the operations manager here, right? So we have this nice new facility to run. We're looking for the right employee to help us fill that role. So if you're watching and you're wondering what's next with your career and you think this could be a fit, we're equipped with the latest technology, some nice new stuff. We would love to talk to you about potentially joining our team. All right, enough about Arcola. We'll dive into the markets. A lot to talk about, but I'll keep it brief. We're going to have slight changes for the week. When I look at the week-to-week changes, beans will be up roughly 10 to 20 cents when we close here today. Corn, when I looked earlier, we were actually unchanged on the week. We'll see where we settle, but wheat will close also close to unchanged. So all the moving around, a lot of not a huge price swing really for the week, but the news, right? So there's a lot of optimism priced in over the U.S.-China relations. Our trade representatives are going to France this weekend to meet with the Chinese trade team to see if they can lay the framework for the big meeting supposed to happen in early April. There's talk about the RVO mandates getting released or being better than expected. That has been in the news this week. And on top of that, there's still the conflict going on in the Middle East. So a lot of moving parts here, but what we do know, guys, is your farm profitability has definitely changed here over the last couple of weeks. So if you haven't had a chance to utilize this as an opportunity to make some sales, please give us a call and let us help work through that with you. We you know, this is an opportunity here. Crude's rallying. It's pulling corn and soybeans higher with it, but still, definitely a campaign to make some sales for both old and new crop here on this rally. So thanks for tuning in. Again, we're here at Arcola, Illinois. We'll talk to you guys next week.